27 years after Lucha Libre exploded onto the American wrestling scene in this very arena, the former ECW arena on the corner of Swanson and Rittner, we celebrate the anniversary with Expo Lucha. My name is Joe Dombrowski. By my side is Jesus, don't call me Ricardo Rodriguez. Tonight it's Lucha excellence across the board.
We are excited to be here in a building full of history, pro wrestling history and Lucha Libre history.
We're going to kick things off with a Lucha Libre staple that's been prevalent for many, many decades. The Trios matchup, which really, I believe back in the 1970s, came into a life of its own and helped define Lucha Libre throughout the world.
And not only has it made a name for itself in Mexico, it's made a name for itself all over Japan and especially in the U.S.
Smiley and
Well, it is the trio of Smiley, Decimus, and Azrieal, three very unique, eclectic personalities. That is Azrieal, the veteran of the trio, a 20-year pro in the game. Smiley, I bet you can't guess. He's the guy with the big smile on his face. Decimus, a little bit of a mystery attached to him. But what do you make of three different eclectic personalities like this together as a trio?
I'm definitely excited to see the dynamic and the chemistry between these three. People who have never really met each other in this sort of format, even though they may know each other, they've never been in the ring together. So I'm excited to see what they have.
I want to thank everybody across the world on Fight TV for joining us 100% live as we celebrate this important milestone, the third Expo Lucha in our history, Las Vegas, San Diego, and now Philadelphia.
The team of the Air Show, Razor Wing and Mach 10, and their partner, Ultimo and...
Well, one thing that Lucha fans know quite well in the greater Philadelphia area, always a lot of ants running around.
Especially here. There was this group not too long ago called the Colony, who I was a big fan of so many years ago, and it brings me so much joy to see the ants back in action here in this legendary arena.
Jesus, there was an infestation throughout the industry.
There was. Although you know, I mean, they needed to get exterminator, but I think that the strong one survived, and that's what we're going to see here tonight: the strong ant and Ultimo ant.
That's right. He's the final one to climb down that anthill. It is Ultimo Ant, joined by the tag team of Air Show. It is Razor Wing in the gold outfit. It is Mach 10 in the red. And certainly you think about Mach 10, you think about quickness, you think about speed.
Señoras y señores, el siguiente lucha de tríos es de una caída.
That means one fall.
En la primera esquina, el trío de Decimus, Smiley y Azrieal. Y en el otro esquina, el trío de Razor Ring and Mach 10 y Ultimo.
I am excited because we're going to kick off this match in straight Lucha Libre style with the 3-on-3, the trios match. This is going to be super excited. Let's get this going.
I'm excited you were helping translate the Spanish ring announcements. Giving you some flashbacks, right?
Yeah, totally. It was like almost like a PTSD, but in a good way.
If there is such a thing.
If there is such a thing.
Well, we'll see if you can get PTSD dealing with a unique character like Smiley. Again, it is Smiley, Azrieal, and Decimus on the left side of your screen. And on the opposing side is the tag team of Air Show, Razor Ring and Mach 10, and their tag team partner, Ultimo Ant, the last of the ant colony that has plagued professional wrestling for many, many years. Smiley is a graduate of the House of Glory School, of course, the Amazing Red.
Of course.
Up in the New York area, a 9-year pro. And Smiley's the big X factor. He's a little bit moody. He's a little bit up and down sometimes, and we'll see if that translates as this matchup goes, starting out with Razorwing, the indestructible Lucha Wonderbird.
For those in attendance that were here earlier, we got to see these gentlemen in action, or at least some of these guys, and we got to get a little taste of what they have to offer. But this is a completely different dynamic. And, of course, here we go. You were saying the Smiley, but he's coming out with cheating already, something in the arm. Come on, man.
Yeah, well, Smiley is unorthodox, wild, innovative, maybe a little crazed sometimes. And you know, Mr. Rodriguez, how do you prepare for an opponent when that opponent probably doesn't even know what they're going to do next?
I think you kind of answered that question itself. Like, how can you? I mean, you don't know what you're going to get. I think you have to kind of study a little bit of everything and kind of hope that you got the right tactic.
Razorwing calls himself an intergalactic fighter of justice.
Oy.
Very altruistic, always fights for what's right, in spite of the odds, as the pace quickens at Smiley, using that power advantage, coming through with that Finley-style roll.
Somebody like Smiley has always really interested me because we see somebody of his build that is so athletic. And look at that!
Did he just bounce off his own skull?
Somebody of his size, how he moves, and it's very, very like it's very impressive, to be honest. And some of the stuff that you've seen on Twitter, on YouTube, on Facebook, on Instagram. It's somebody that if you don't know who Smiley is, it's somebody you really want to keep an eye on.
Now, I want to make note that Decimus came in, and keep in mind if you're new to Lucha Libre, oftentimes in Lucha, standard hand-to-hand tags aren't really required. If you step outside the ring, your partner can come in your place as the legal man, and Decimus kind of forced himself in and told his partner Smiley, hey, get out, it's my turn.
Also, for those of you guys that aren't aware, in Lucha Libre, as one man exits, the other one is legally allowed to come in, his partner.
Absolutely.
As we're seeing right now.
Yeah, that's 100% legal, but I think Decimus kind of forced that issue, and now rapid fire here as athletes keep replacing one another. That is Mach 10 in there right now with veteran Azrieal. Azrieal, I think, one of the most underrated veterans on the independent scene, but the victim of a Tijeras, no, puts the, Mach 10.
The other way, switches it on him.
Yeah, went with the momentum and took Azrieal over. Azrieal trained by the one and only notorious 187 Homicide. He's as tough as they come, but can he survive the agility?
Beautiful moonsault right there by Mach 10. Beautiful. And with the save comes in Smiley.
Mach 10 called the hypersonic daredevil and sent to the outside that time by Smiley, who is looking to maybe slow this thing back down or maybe make this thing a little weirder.
I also kind of feel like it's a little bit of a tactic to slow it down at a certain time so you can catch your breath. Because you can't go 100 miles an hour for 10, 15, 20 minutes. And if you can, hey, you know what? More power to you.
Well, I think a lot of Lucha is such a rapid-fire game of chess. It involves very quick thinking on your feet. It involves instincts, and it's very reactionary. And I think even more so than standard American-style professional wrestling, if you make – whoa, wait a minute.
Hold on.
The mask came off, and the mood just changed.
It's kind of like a Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde type of situation here.
Yeah, I think Smiley channels a different set of emotions when that side of his face is visible.
Smiley attempts to run up the ropes. What is he going to do? Alita? Maybe? Oh! It's all about the setup. Oh, mira nomás! Oh!
Building that momentum, but no. And there is where you need to think on your feet. And I think Smiley's so impulsive, he didn't have a follow-up, and Ultimo and capitalized.
He took advantage of the situation that was given at hand, and sure enough, I mean, why not? If you have an opponent that's on the ropes, it doesn't have quite as balance, why not take advantage of it?
Do you think Smiley's related to Norman Smiley? Maybe not.
You know what? If he does a big wiggle, I will applaud him. I will give him my payday today.
Oh, my gosh.
Don't tell him that.
We got that recorded. It's Smiley and Ultimo Ant as Smiley's teammates are in no place to help him right now. Off the back. Check out that triple team. These three men came from the same place. They trained amongst each other. All about a 5 or 6 year pro. They've literally grown up in this sport together, and you can tell that in their chemistry. Definitely,
and at the same time, the crowd has appreciated the exact movements that have been occurring at this moment. You can see them as they're applauding because what's about to happen. Oh, a little taunt.
Now there's some mind games from the former Green Ant. a former King of Trios winner with the Colony, regional champion. Knows Lucha, knows World of Sport so much, and you gotta believe he's passed on so much of that to the likes of Mach 10, who may be pound for pound the quickest man in this locker room.
100%. And somebody like Ultimo and who's been trained by people like Mike Quackenbush, Claudio Castelloni, Chris Hero, Skyda, who know a little bit of everything. Oh, this is beautiful, Smiley! Beautiful tornillo! Only for a 2 count on Mach 10. That was gorgeous.
That was called the T-Virus by Smiley, and I think, again, that's something that I can't recall seeing before. How do you prepare for that?
Not at all. You just can't. You just kind of hope for the best.
Azrieal's been in the ring with the likes of Ultimo
Whoop.
Dragon, Kenny Omega, Jushin Liger. Great assist there for Smiley as frequent exchanges by this team, and Decimus comes through.
Decimus was attacking with that big clothesline on the ground to Mach 10, but it wasn't enough to capitalize. There we go. All right. The Argentinian Azrieal.
Yeah.
Trying to take advantage of the situation, but to no avail.
And Azrieal's done so much in this industry. Ring of Honor, AEW. I mentioned being in the ring with another cover here. 2 count only. Been in the ring with the likes of Ultimo and Jushin Liger and Kenny Omega, Milano Collection AT. I don't think Azrieal gets his flowers, so to speak, from the wrestling fans of today at Another Near Fall. I think it's up to Azrieal to reaffirm his dominance and show what he's made of.
And what a better place to do that to do it here live on Fight TV at the legendary ECW Arena.
I can feel the energy coursing through your veins. And 2 count again, and of course, it's the 27-year anniversary of the first time Rey Mysterio and Psicosis came to this building working for ECW with Conan and introduced the U.S. audience to what Lucha Libre is. And that, I mean, obviously that spearheaded WCW's Cruiserweight division.
Definitely.
Everything that's happened since then, the roots of it are right here in this building. This venue is so special for more reasons we can even talk about on this air. This, of course, was going to be the 25th anniversary before COVID delayed things. But we're happy to be here celebrating, and we're happy all of you are here with us as well.
It was a moment that changed Lucha Libre forever. But not only in as far as the Mexican audience knew, but it introduced a whole new style to the American audience. That, I mean, it became what it became. You know, it skyrocketed so many athletes, super crazy. Eddie Guerrero, even Dean Malenko, Psicosis, Juventud Guerrera, Rey Mysterio, so many.
And that influence is still being felt generation after generation. You see Lucha Libre prevalent in every promotion, and so many hybrid-style athletes who put Lucha into their game that, you know, maybe wouldn't have been exposed to it in quite that way if not for this building.
I completely agree. They went on to build an entire division in WCW, which that to me honestly was a big reason why I switched to the American style pro wrestling after the WCW Cruiserweights.
Near fall there by Decimus. Talk about what an advantage it is for an athlete like Decimus to have that low center of gravity to use to his advantage.
He has a lot of power. He may not have necessarily say the quickness, but he has such an amazing power, and he does have agility. He does have agility that he can capitalize with his power. And we will see it. I've seen this gentleman before, and he is a tank. You can barely move him. I can guarantee you that.
Azrieal and now calls himself the good guy, but some people look at that as a bit facetious. Maybe a little bit of Eddie Guerrero-esque as far as sneaking a little lying, cheating, and stealing once in a while.
I mean, so long as you don't get caught, right? It's not cheating.
Check out that knee. All right, Bobby Heenan, Freddie Blassie.
I may know a thing or two about,
Yeah,
you're working my way in the ring.
I've seen you in this movie before. Win if you can, lose if you must, but always cheat, right? Grabbing the foot of Mach 10, who connects with the Inzaguri.
And there's a tag, comes in Smiley. Ah!
And here comes Razor Wing. And you got to expect Razor Wing to look to quicken that tempo. Hand spring into the side kick, connect right to the temple.
Razor Wing picking up momentum, goes for that 619. Yes, he does, and he connects.
I'm not sure what area code a Wonderbird has, but we'll find out, I guess.
Beautiful backstabber. Here we go. Lion Salt. Yes, he connects.
Beautifully done. The quebrada, and Smiley landed on the knees. And, oh man, was that 2 or was that 3?
I think that was just a 2 count, a barely 2 count. That was a 2 count.
There was an interruption in the fall, and maybe a little bit of a judgment call there, but referee's word is final. And with all these moving parts, though, I mean, that speaks to the fact that to pin somebody in this matchup, you got to neutralize almost the whole team.
And you know what? I got to give credit to the referee because there's a lot going on, and he has to have focus. Although at the same time, I mean, if you can use it to your strategy that the referee can be occupied, use it to your advantage.
Well, you know all the tricks, don't you?
I mean, I'm not saying you should cheat. I'm just saying, I mean.
How did a ring announcer learn all these things?
I mean, you know, I've been around the block a few times here and there.
Azrieal has as well. Check out that veteranship. He didn't let Ultimo Ant away from his grip at any point to counter. Distance creates opportunity in Lucha. Azrieal didn't let it. Tight hook and an interruption by Mach 10.
Mach 10 coming in with that double stomp. That's Dakas onto the back of Azrieal. But heck, can he do what is he going for here? Hold on a sec. Oh.
Time stands still. Oh, Mach 10. Azrieal tried to catch him. Azriel's trying to play defense, but that's called the X-Wing. And boy, it jarred Azrieal in a bad way. And that could do it. Interruption by Decimus. You know, Mach 10's been an underdog since day one, an overachiever. He beat 29 people in his very first match in wrestling. So Mach 10 is fearless, and he'll have to be here with Decimus in there.
Decimus, because of his size, you have to kind of like, ooh, nice little powerbomb in the buckle. You have to kind of have him as an underdog, right? So you don't expect much from him until he starts moving in that ring.
And Razerwing vaults his entire body on top of Decimus to break up the fall. Keep in mind, Razerwing and Mach 10 teaming for half a decade. Backslide almost into a driver.
That was like a snap. Yeah, right. Yeah. Like snap driver back slide.
We're inventing things live on the air. I love it.
That's the beautiful thing about Lucha Libre and wrestling. They come up with new stuff all the time, and it's hard to come up with names for them. That's what I love, the ingenuity, the creativeness of these people.
And it's not going to stop. We're just in the first match.
This is only the first match.
Ow, what a power bomb. Razorwick tried to protect his head. Oh! And that spring off one more time. That T-Virus variation, and Ultimo Ant makes the save.
Beautiful, beautiful DDT there by Smiley.
Smiley's just mastered that leverage of being able to use those ropes for maximum effect.
Ultimo charges, but with a miss. Eats a boot by Smiley, and Smiley climbs the ropes. Oh, here we go. What's he got in mind? Oh!
Ultimo and counters in midair into the cover. Dude. Only. Ultimo and almost into a powerbomb, almost into a sky high.
That was great. That was smart. I mean, you would think with the name of Ultimo and he has to be the one standing at the end of this.
Well, maybe so. He could be the Ultimo Luchador in our trios contest. Fireman's Carry could be setting up for the Ant Driver, but we'll never find out. The sinister sneer on the mask of Smiley tells the story as he springs off once again.
Beautiful little rebound there to a side kick from Smiley to Ultimo Ant. Charges him in the corner, launches, gets him ready for Azrieal. Nice! Hell of a kick in the corner, followed by that forearm, from Decimus.
Azrieal, a double stomp master.
And they're not done.
Ant had nowhere to go. Smiley the crossbody from way up high. 3. And that'll do it. 3 count. And then we have a decision. And we're still going here.
We're still going.
Well, I think these guys are going to decide when this issue is done when they decide it's done.
Yeah, they're not wanting to give this up.
We'll fight all day.
Where's the goal? Let them fight forever.
I don't think we don't have an out time here. We'll call the station. We'll get extra time like we're David Crockett.
Let them fight forever. Topes suicidas, 2 out of 3. Smiley counters that tope from Ultimo Ant. What's he got in mind here? Nice little, what is this?
Oh my gosh.
1, 2, and
double underhook into the driver and a near fall.
Solamente dos.
That was the Dementia driver, and that wasn't enough.
Beautiful. How are these guys still going with such? Whoa! Oh!
450, nobody there. That was the trip to Psycho Land, and he sent himself on an old sinister trip.
Nice little journey there. There's no water in the pool on that one.
And here comes Mr. Rodriguez. Get ready. Up for the Stargazer. And that'll do it definitively. What a victory.
The team of Razor Wing, Mach 10, and Ultimo and...
High impact, high octane trios match. We saw a little bit of everything, but it's Razor Wing, Mach 10, and Ultimo and that come out on top in an action-packed, hard to follow, unpredictable trios opening contest.
You say it's hard to follow, but I would say that is a challenge for the rest of the card coming up, that they have something like this that they have to live up to, and even more. And I know that they can. Listen who we have already in mind. Ultimo Dragon, super crazy. We have Psychosis.
There you see one more time. Check out the impact of that splash. That Stargazer knocked all the wind out of Smiley, and it was done for from there. That's an example of using your body weight, but from such a big height, it didn't matter if Mach 10 was the smallest guy in this matchup. He got all the impact he needed.
I fully agree. It doesn't matter how light you think something is. If it comes from a certain height, it's going to crush you.
Absolutely. Height, distance, velocity.